Today, let's talk about the story of Queen Sophia of Spain, the sister of Greek King Constantine II. In 1938, Queen Sophia was born in Nazi-occupied Greece. Her mother was Princess Frederica of Hanover, and her father was King Paul I of Greece. Sophia was the eldest child in the family. Due to the threat of the German army, the family sought refuge in Africa when she was young. Her uncle, the former king, once joked that the essential item for a Greek king was a suitcase, and history proved him right. It's unknown how King Constantine II, who spent a significant part of his life in exile, felt about this statement. After World War II, they returned to Greece, and Sophia finally grew up without worries. She attended high school in Germany. Sophia had a lovely doll-like face and a tall figure. Like her brother Constantine, she was also an athlete. Both of them participated in the sailing competition at the 1960 Rome Olympics, and her brother even won a gold medal. The Greek royal family had a penchant for royal marriages. When Sophia reached a marriageable age, her mother began to search for potential suitors from various countries. Initially, she had her eye on the then Norwegian Prince Harald, but it was not successful as he already had someone in his heart. Later, at a Greek maritime party, Sophia met Prince Juan Carlos, who was not yet a king at that time. Juan Carlos was not the first choice for Sophia's mother because Spain was still under the dictatorship of Franco, and he was only a nominal prince. It was uncertain whether he would become king in the future. However, Juan Carlos was handsome in his youth, and judging from his achievements, he was a capable young man. So, Sophia secretly admired him, but the details of their love story remain unknown. At the beginning of their acquaintance, Juan Carlos had another girlfriend, an Italian aristocrat. He even introduced her to Franco, but Franco disapproved of the relationship because the girl's family was associated with political liberalism. Facing Franco's opposition, Juan Carlos broke up with his girlfriend and began a relationship with Sophia. After all, marrying a princess would be beneficial for stabilizing the precarious Spanish throne. One day, when the time was right, Juan Carlos handed Sophia a box containing a ring, without any formal proposal ceremony. That simple gesture marked the establishment of their engagement. In 1962, Sophia converted from the Greek Orthodox Church to Catholicism and officially joined the Spanish royal family. During the first dozen years of her marriage, the Spanish royal family lived in the shadow of the Franco regime. However, paradoxically, these were the happiest years of Sophia's life. Sophia had a gentle temperament, and her every move reflected the grace and elegance befitting a royal princess, which endeared her to Franco. Juan Carlos, on the other hand, held a deep fear of Franco and dared not do anything out of line, showing utmost obedience to his wife. During this period, they had 2 daughters and 1 son, and in family photos, they appeared to be a harmonious and sweet family. Sophia had previously studied nursing, and she was caring and attentive, personally taking care of their 3 children. In this phase of her life, she not only played the role of a mother but also became a sweet wife who stood behind her husband. However, everything changed after the death of Franco in 1973, and Sophia's husband, Juan Carlos, officially became the King of Spain. Juan Carlos, born in 1938 in Rome, was the same age as Sophia. At the time of his birth, the Spanish royal family was already forced into exile in Italy. The Spanish and Greek royal families share many similarities, such as both being foreign dynasties. The Greek royal family came from Denmark, while the Spanish royal family descended from the Bourbon dynasty of France. Additionally, both dynasties experienced exile and lived through periods of military dictatorship in their respective countries. In his later years, Franco sought to continue his authoritarian rule, but lacking a direct heir, he recalled Juan Carlos, the grandson of Alfonso XIII, to groom him as his successor. Juan Carlos had a younger brother who tragically died from a gunshot at a young age. The official police report stated that the incident was an accidental death resulting from the brother playing with a gun. However, a servant claimed to have seen Juan Carlos holding the gun towards his brother, and Juan Carlos privately admitted that he thought the gun was unloaded. His father later went mad, gripping his neck, and exclaimed, "Tell me you didn't do it on purpose." Despite this, Juan Carlos, as an adult, showed no aversion to firearms and continued to enjoy hunting, as evidenced by his actions in later years. Before Franco's death, he had originally intended for Juan Carlos to continue the authoritarian rule. However, one of the first actions Juan Carlos took upon assuming power was to relinquish his authority, convene the parliament, and peacefully transition Spain to a constitutional monarchy. In 1981, remnants of the military government attempted a coup, occupying the parliament building to restore authoritarian rule. However, Juan Carlos reacted swiftly, delivering a televised speech stating that as long as he was in power, he would never allow a military government to take over. Ultimately, the coup was dismantled within 24 hours. From that point on, Juan Carlos became a hero in the eyes of the Spanish people. In subsequent polls, he even surpassed figures like Columbus and Cervantes, being elected as the greatest man in Spanish history. However, after relinquishing power, Juan Carlos directed his energy and time towards romantic affairs, engaging in extramarital relationships. It is said that when Queen Sofia was 37 years old, she wanted to surprise Juan Carlos, who was out hunting, by taking their 3 children to the hotel where he was staying. To her shock, she discovered his affair. From that point on, the couple's relationship never returned to what it used to be. According to reports, Juan Carlos had numerous extramarital affairs during his time as king, with the number rumored to be over 1,500. While this figure may not be entirely accurate, the circulation of such scandalous news undoubtedly had an impact on his character and reputation. Sofia may have considered divorce, but her mother sternly prevented her. The exact words of her mother's advice were along the lines of, "No matter what, do not give up the position of queen. Do you want to become an exiled queen like me?" This advice became a shackle that Sofia couldn't escape for the rest of her life. The Greek royal family was dethroned, and her mother, the former Queen of Greece, spent her later years seeking refuge in Spain. Her brother, the former King of Greece, sought her help during the early days of his exile. When Constantine II hastily left Greece, he even borrowed clothes from Juan Carlos. Later, when the Greek government refused to provide them with passports, they used Spanish passports for a while. Sofia's only sister, Irene, didn't have the chance to marry before the royal family was dethroned. She remained unmarried for her entire life and relied on Sofia's connections to live in Spain, staying close to her sister. Divorce was not an option, and Sofia, being from a traditional royal background, highly valued the dignity and reputation of the monarchy. She never expressed any dissatisfaction with her husband in public or subtly revealed the true state of her marriage through the media, even to gain public sympathy. Although later photos revealed a frozen smile on her face, Sofia always impeccably fulfilled her responsibilities as queen. It wasn't until a series of scandals erupted in 2012 that the Spanish nation truly learned about the real face of the king. Before that, the king's romantic affairs were merely street gossip and rumors. It started in 2012 when Juan Carlos was caught by the media hunting elephants in Botswana, Africa. This high-end hunting expedition cost tens of thousands of euros per person, and he was accompanied by his mistress at the time. Spending taxpayers' money, engaging in leisure activities with a mistress, and participating in trophy hunting of elephants, which goes against animal conservation principles, was like detonating a bomb for Spain, which was then in an economic crisis. However, even bigger corruption scandals were unearthed. The direct consequence of this incident was King Juan Carlos abdicating voluntarily in 2014, passing the throne to his son, Crown Prince Felipe, at that time. After King Juan Carlos abdicated, he lost the judicial immunity granted to him as a king, leading to a lawsuit filed by a man and a woman who claimed to be his unrecognized illegitimate children. They requested the court to arrange a paternity test. Juan Carlos seemed uneasy about the situation. On one hand, he delayed the proceedings, and on the other hand, he asserted his unwavering loyalty to Sofia, pledging not to do anything to betray her. However, as the case made little progress, the two individuals decided to conduct a DNA test between themselves. If they could prove they were siblings, the matter would be clarified. Later, they claimed that the test results showed over a 90% likelihood of being siblings. The mothers of these two individuals, one living in Spain and the other in Belgium, had no previous acquaintance. The entire episode became a comedic spectacle in Spain. However, for Sofia, the Queen, her inner feelings were extremely bitter. On March 15, 2020, King Felipe VI of Spain woke up to a letter from his father, Juan Carlos. The letter conveyed Juan Carlos's intention to leave Spain. The letter did not mention where he intended to go and made no reference to his wife, Sofia. After several days of media speculation and tracking, Juan Carlos was found to have traveled to Dubai via South America. The reason behind his escape was allegedly linked to accepting a substantial bribe from Saudi Arabia, amounting to approximately 80 million euros. The investigation into this matter is still ongoing. It seems that Sofia has not been greatly affected by this incident. She was seen casually shopping with her sister in Madrid, appearing relaxed as usual. Sofia has a total of 3 children, all of whom are exceptionally accomplished. Her second daughter, Cristina, served as the flag bearer for the Spanish delegation at the 1988 Seoul Olympics. Her youngest son, who is the current King Felipe VI, carried the Spanish flag at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics. Both of them participated in Olympic competitions. Cristina later married a fellow athlete, and both of them had high educational qualifications and successful careers. However, in 2014, a corruption and tax evasion scandal brought them down from their pedestals. Cristina's husband was sentenced to prison, and the princess herself became a defendant in court. King Felipe VI, who was already reigning at that time, immediately stripped her of her princess title and expelled their family from the Spanish royal household. Moreover, to avoid any suspicion, King Felipe VI and his family have not appeared in public with Cristina's family since the incident. Over the years, Queen Sofia has been highly respected within Spain. People believe that she prioritized the interests of the monarchy over personal gains, enduring many years alongside King Juan Carlos, which was undoubtedly challenging. Of course, there have been some harsh media criticisms, labeling various aspects of Sofia's life as failures. Whether as a wife, mother, or grandmother, she did not choose to divorce when it might have been appropriate, seemingly burying her own life in the grave of marriage. Stripped of her title as queen, she is just a pitiable ordinary person trapped in an unfortunate marriage. Like other women who compromise in their marriages, there are reasons beyond her control, including personal and societal factors.